Very much. Thank you very much, Anna, for the kind introduction. And good morning, good afternoon to everyone, depending on what part of the world you're in right now. And I don't take for granted that you took your time to join this session today. I've been excited and I've been looking forward to it. And I'm sure like a lot of people too have been. And I do hope that at the end of the day, it's going to be worth our time. Again, a quick introduction about myself. My name is Ayo. Um, I'm the founder of Color Gig. Color Gig is a freelancing marketplace that primarily connects African freelancers to global businesses. That said, we also sort of have accommodation for non-African freelancers. We're pretty much new, so we're still like about 5,000 freelancers strong. And anyway, it's not about Color Gig, but I mean, our goal is to be able to ride on the wave of the growing gig economy and also identifying the fact that gig economy is the future of the workforce, or rather, it's going to be a significant part of the future of the workforce. So these are the trends. The numbers are very interesting. We're just able to take the summary and the most important, what we feel is are the most important parts of the numbers. You know, if we're going to go through the numbers, the successes and the orders that have been crossed, it's going to be a lot. Um, right now, you know, there are about 1.1 billion freelancers all over the world. That's an amazing number. And the average earning of this is like $39,000 per year. In some countries, $39,000 per year may sound more like is little. In other countries, it is a lot of money, depending on the poverty or the wealth index in that country. 30% of freelancers work on more than a project at a time, which is the beauty of freelancing. It gives you the flexibility to experience different things and take advantage of different things. And the average per hour fee is $21 per hour. 59% of hiring managers are engaged in flexible talent. So 59% of people today are looking for flexible talent. There was a time where, you know, I remember when I was young, my uncles and my parents just want to have like job security where they're either hired by like a strong corporation or a government. But today is all changed. You know, everybody is more like flexible. What can I do? If you need to hire like a graphic designer now, it's almost impossible to have a graphic designer on your payroll as a full-time staff because they need to experience more things. I just don't want to sit down at a bank, you know, and just working on a bank project, and I'm limited to more experience. So more people have recognized the needs of these people, and now they hire more freelancers for certain roles. 33% of Fortune 500 companies, you know, turn to freelancers to outsource their work. And 70% of small businesses have worked with freelancers at least once. Definitely the acceptance of remote work will continue to lubricate freelancing because more people are going to need remote workers. More roles will be outsourced to remote workers. A lot of things will need to be done again. For instance, you know, data entry work, virtual assistant work, people will keep needing remote workers. And also with the recent COVID pandemic that has fueled, you know, the need for remote working. And it has set a lot of trends that are hard to fix. For instance, as of this morning, I was reading a report that says that a lot of investment banks in New York now pay entry level staff up to $100,000 with a lot of bonus. Now, entry level staff, yes, they do a lot of work. Most of their work is grunt work, is work that you don't need, you know, a university degree to do, right? Some of the work, yes, you need a university degree to do, but most of the work is Excel work and all of that. Sooner rather than later, many of these companies will understand this need, and then they'll start, you know, reducing workload, and then freelancers again will begin to win or continue to win. Freelancing becoming a respected alternative career. Yes, it is, like I just mentioned now. Teaming and hunting impacts enable freelancing to compete for larger, more complex enterprise work. So the explanation to that is that now you see not just individual freelancers, but agencies. You see people setting up agencies and communities, even on freelancing platform. And this sort of enables you to set up an entire office um, to help you with your project. For instance, where we work, Color Gig, for instance, our team is scattered all over the place, and I can promise you that I've not met in person most of the people that we work together, and we've been working very well, and we've been delivering excellent products. So, multiple marketplaces to find work online. Yes, there's a lot of marketplaces where you can find work online. There's a lot of avenues. There's Upwork, there is Fiverr, there is Color Gig, there is Guru. I mean, I'm happy to hear other names if you know some other to know, the names that the places you like to work as well. Happy to share that with you and learn that from you as well. Um, Highly skilled professionals will opt for freelancing work over traditional employment. This is true in recent days. I find that a lot of very skilled professionals will just rather freelance. Just pay me for my service and let me go. I don't want to be part of your business. I don't want you to pay my pension. I don't want to be part of the bureaucracy of the company. Just pay me, I'll do my work and let me go. Companies will lean to contractors to fill technical skill gaps as opposed to upskilling, which is true. For instance, it's easier for me to pay someone to do my economics writing than for me to look for someone who has like an advanced economic degree and all of that. So yeah, so all these things fuel the projections, and we expect 65% growth of remote work over the next 5 years, which means our 1.1 billion will go up to about 1.75 billion over the next 5 years. 127% expected increase in the amount of work done by flexible talents by flexible time by hiring managers, and 80% of the estimated share of the freelancers, 80%, sorry, the estimated share of freelancers in the global workforce is going to go up to 80% by 2030. So now you're a freelancer and you have skills, right? What do you do? Or how do you make the best of it? I'm sure a lot of us here are already making money from being a freelancer. One thing I said recently, even before branding yourself, is that you do not have to wait to be a top professional before you start freelancing. If you have a skill, at this minimum level you can start. I mentioned earlier data entry. So for instance, if you're trying to be like a guru at advanced financial modeling, you don't have to wait until you're able to do valuations and advanced financial modeling before you start freelancing. As long as you can use Excel sheets, the basic Excel sheets and data management, you can start freelancing. You don't have to wait for long. You can start earning the little bucks while you're waiting for the big ones. A few points that I would advise, a few 6 points that would help us here. Number one, brand yourself. Always brand yourself. If you're writing your profile, brand yourself. Let people know what exactly you're doing. I'm not gonna write my name is Ayo and put some fancy things there. I'm gonna write my name and I'll let you know these are the things that I do, and I'll let you know, this is who I am. So that if your profile even goes beyond the platform you're working on, you're going to be easily met, right? I know one of the things we have in a product, and one of the features we're working on is the profile and the way it can be worked, so that you can even transfer your profile with your QR code, print it in a card. If you're in a dinner with friends, you can give your card to people. You don't have an office they can come to, but they can meet you on your favorite platform. So you should be able to brand yourself. Even if you don't have that, you can put your link on your favorite platform so people can come look for you over there and then put what you do there. Focus on a niche and work to become the best at what you do. I'm not going to be like uh, an Excel sheet guru, and at the same time, I'm preaching to you that I'm a developer, and at the same time, I'm a UX designer. First of all, any client that sees that goes like, this guy is not focused. At best, he has an idea of everything, but he may not be able to deliver these services. So what do? I focus on what I'm trying to deliver. And that is what I'm trying to tell people. First of all, start with what you can deliver. If you think you have other skills, maybe form an agency and get more people who can do different things so that people can hire you as an entire office and use the ecosystem totally. In every project you work on, always over deliver, always not less, always under promise and over deliver. If you promise that you're going to deliver something in 10 days, make it 5 days if possible. The client will respect you, will give you more work. Where people that work with us, once they're able to, in fact, before they finish, I'm like, okay, are you ready for the next work? Because there is always work. Identify similar freelancers you can collaborate with. So if you're a developer and you need to do an entire website, you can also be a client by hiring other freelancers to support you and give you broad perspective. It's okay to share your money. It improves your own reputation, which then improves your own earning power. Always improve your skill set. Always take advantage of every reason to upskill every time so that the next time you're working with someone, they can tell the difference in your work. And don't rely on a single freelancing platform. Yeah, no, you shouldn't rely on a single freelancing platform, depending on what kind of experience you're expecting. Some people want to work with companies in Europe. There are freelancing platforms that focus on Europe, UK, some focus in the US. So you should, depending on the kind of experience you're looking for and also the kind of companies you're looking to work with, then you should sort of, spread your tentacles around like that. So now I'm going to talk about the type of clients. I mean, by all means, this is not an exhaustive list, and these are the way we've sort of, put it in different buckets, and the different behaviors and the things that they're expecting. I'll start from the lowest of them, which is the startups. A startup can be an individual or a group of individuals. They're just at the beginning stage of their business. They need to grow, right? Understanding each of these characteristics and features of the different clients will help us deal with them better and manage them better. Right. So I'm almost sorry, I'm checking time. Okay, yeah, we'll be back. So now a startup wants to grow. Most times they don't even know what they need, right? I remember when we started, we had about our logo was done about 8 or 10 times because we didn't know what we want. We had no idea about brand strategies, brand identity. We just wanted a logo that had a C in it. And we did the first logo for $50, which which was very interesting. I still like that logo today. And but then again, as we grew, we understood our business better. We understood what to do, how to please our clients better, and then we're able to use that to improve our strategy as a business. So startups, you have to be extra patient with them. You can't expect it. I remember a freelancer, a developer, he does DevOps. I had worked with him several times. I always, call him if I need any DevOps work. And then, at some point, I always give him a 5-star rating on one of the freelancing platform. And then he gave me a rating like, oh, was a 3 or 4 star rating. And his comment was like, he didn't know what he needed. And I called him. I was like, if I knew what I needed, I wouldn't come to you because I think that you're like a top, a highly skilled person. But I know that you know what I need, and that's why I come to you. And then I went back to review his rating to like maybe 1 star or so because he was not able to understand my needs properly and he was not patient with me. So freelancer startups will always, be more problematic. The smaller businesses, they want to scale, right? They have less needs than freelancers, than startups, right? um However, they may not have the they may not be able to pay you as well as you want to, right? So at best they want like a highly skilled intermediate, experienced freelancers to work with them. And then corporates are the big companies like the Googles, the Dropbox, the Facebook. They already have everything apportioned. In fact, they already know what, if you're a developer, they already know what they want you to develop and how long it's going to take you. You just come in, do what you have to do, and go away. You have less problems with them. You have, it's more structured working with them. Your payments, you know when your payment is going to come and everything is going to work out that way. Government agencies typically will go through other agencies to hire. But the idea is that with working with government agencies, most likely you have to deal with a lot of confidentiality issues, and then you have to be able to work, very in a very agile environment as well. I'm happy to hear your experience with different types of clients. And if you think there's one type of client that is not mentioned, I wouldn't classify clients by their behavior. I'll just classify them by their skill. How do you find clients generally? Where do you find them from? Of course, the most popular one is online platform. Go on Google, freelancing platforms. There are a lot of them. Um, it's easier there. They protect your payments on both sides. They make sure that you deliver the work, and they also help you keep a record so that as your work improves, you also sort of improve, and your ratings also improve. So some of the online platforms that are our favorite are, of course, Color Gig. I'm biased about that, but yeah. And then Fiverr and Upwork. Fiverr and Upwork, because they are probably the world's largest. They are valued at billions of dollars, and they have their pros and cons. Like I said, I know someone mentioned something about Guru, but we're out of time and we can't go into that now. You can also find clients from business communities, right? So you can go to entrepreneurship places, agencies that focus on entrepreneurship, gender inclusions. All of these business communities will where you can find clients. And on social media, if you go on Twitter, you would always find a client. So are you a writer? Just go on Twitter and use hashtag writer, hashtag freelancer, looking for work. It may take some time, but you will find work and you will find friends and people that you can work with.